Okay. Memo. A team member returns. Oh, it's like the title of an anime episode. Hi, MapleStory. My name is Dennis. Some of you guys may know Dennis. One of the producers here at Nexon. For those that do recognize my name, it may have come as a surprise to see me a couple of weeks ago at MapleStory Fest. And see this memo coming from me today. It's been a little over 2 years since I stepped away from working on MapleStory to produce other projects, but as some of you can guess, I'm honored to announce that I have rejoined the MapleStory team. Dude, it's been 2 years already? I've just been streaming Mushroom Game, dude. Working on other projects at Nexon was immensely fun and rewarding. Yeah, I said other projects at Nexon, so I guess. It would be insincere of me to say that I didn't miss working on MapleStory and helping the entire team deliver this game to all of you. Much of the knowledge and experience that I used to help those other projects succeed was developed in the 5 or so years that I worked on MapleStory. So I'm excited to jump back in it with all of you. However, I know my experiences are probably not what you want to hear about, so perhaps I can elaborate about them another time. Let's talk briefly about MapleStory. First of all, as I mentioned above, we have had a fantastic team working on MapleStory. Amazing! And one of the largest parts of my responsibilities now is to allow them to do the best work that they can. The past 2 years have brought amazing growth to MapleStory. I only hope to help this team continue that growth with our future updates and plans. Of course, there are many ongoing topics and issues that we would like more communication about, and as you can see from our recent Ping Bean Bulletin about recent bans, we have even more ways now to speak to these concerns. Well, we have some other concerns, like flag race crashing, like cash up still crashing. Also, I've mentioned in the past memos, and you've no doubt heard from other producers as well, it can become difficult for us to strike a balance between working on addressing the issues and feedback you all have behind the scenes and communicating with you all about that work. I mean, you just have to have one designated person who does the communicating, right? Please continue to bear with us as we keep working on that balance. Okay. We also want to thank you for your patience with our teams these past few days as we investigated and resolved the ongoing stability issues with NA reboot channels. And resolved? Oh shit! I didn't know the issues were resolved. Are we no longer crashing, guys? I did execute it, yeah. That'll go up on YouTube in a bit. Although it seems like the channels are relatively stable for now. It seems like they're relatively stable. Oof, there's a lot of ifs, ands, and buts in that. Our teams are still looking into the root cause of these issues to determine a long-term solution. Currently testing some of these fixes and hope to apply them soon in an upcoming maintenance. But excuse me. Aside from the above, I don't have much to discuss in depth this time, so I'll keep this memo brief. However, I do want to mention that we've heard some of you have been excited to see things like a 64-bit client, Yeti X Pink Bean World release in other services. While we can't 100% confirm these things will be coming to MapleStory Global, we have been actively discussing the possibility of releasing them in a future update. Please stay tuned for more information from our teams about this and many other topics in the future. It's so weird though, like with the Yeti and Pink Bean, because they've skipped 3 Pink Bean things in a row now. They skipped like the regular Pink Bean event on Anniversary. Then they skipped the Pink Bean thing on Anniversary that was gonna have the different rewards, including the Papalatus mark, which would have been huge for people, you know, who finally want to transpose. And then they also skipped the Yeti and Pink Bean World, so it's like they just don't want to do that content at all. If the game stops crashing, I'm gonna quit. It just won't be the same anymore. Lastly, I just want to personally say thank you to each and every one of you for continuing to support MapleStory with the passion and dedication that you all have. As I mentioned in my last memo, MapleStory is an important game for Nexon and for all of us who work on it, so we ask that you continue to help us to grow and improve this game with you. Wow. Dennis SavageAce Bernardo, senior producer, MapleStory. Yeah, so he's back, and they're talking about 64-bit and Yeti and Pink Bean World. I mean, let's hope that this piece of content actually does make it over to GMS. A lot of other similar stuff has kind of been, I don't know, it feels like a little bit overlooked, right? Like the Pink Bean stuff, so hopefully that. The other thing you guys need to complain about and contact him about is, yes, Dark Lords of Darkness. Exactly. Good job. Get those totems back, guys. Important. But only if you complain enough. Otherwise, we're not going to get them. Alright? Also, you can complain about potential badges if you care, but that shit's just not going to happen. Okay? It's not gonna happen, alright, ever. It's too imbalancing. Try Lab Server and try Dark Lords of Darkest. Also, 1 hour for Lara release. So have fun with that. Or a new event, yeah. Maybe a completely new event with even better totems. How about that? You got tired of waiting for Dark Lords and did Afterlands? That's, of course, more than your right to do that. Lab Server would be nice. Yeah, Lab Server, so I guess to iterate on that a little bit, like TMS had a second iteration of the Lab Server with this time instead of the Explorer classes, they had the Cygnus classes that were available to play in there. It's reasonable to be upset about the power badge remove things with nothing to match it feels so bad. Move with nothing to match? Yeah, usually I'm looking for stronger arguments than that. But, I mean, yeah, things can feel bad. But, like, disconnecting also feels bad. That has to be fixed. But, like, you know, dying to a boss also feels bad. Does that mean that that needs to be fixed, right? I feel like you need a stronger argument there than feels bad. But I think you can get to it, but try to specify a little bit more, right? Like, why does it feel bad? Why do you think it's a bad thing, right? And then zoom in on that. What are the lab servers? It's basically a temporary server that's available where you can make characters, but you have completely different rules. Kind of in the same way that non-reboot and reboot have different rules. But the lab server is more like a non-reboot server, but the numbers are way out of whack. You can get like a bunch of percentage attack and percentage magic attack, and you can get a whole lot of flat weapon and magic attack. The monsters deal like insane damage to you. You can get like one shot by level 20 mobs. They would just do like 6k touch damage or something. But then you could upgrade things with spell traces, but up to 255 times per item, and it was like, yeah, it was really wacky. And then depending on how far you leveled during the event and during the time that the server was open, you would get rewards that you could send over to another server and then open there. It was really interesting, and that's why you have those the two big leg Legion pieces, right? Those are from that. So you have this one with the horrible shape. That's a level 250. That one gives what is it, 15 weapon and magic attack? No, 35 I think, right? Yeah, 35 weapon and magic attack. And then there's the other one, this one here, that gives 20 weapon and magic attack. And also they don't count for the total of 37. So technically I have like 39 pieces in here. So it's a nice buff for your Legion as well. So it would be cool if they would bring that back, maybe with a few different rewards, you know, so that the people who participated last time can still participate and get something else out of it. Would be cool. But yeah, I guess that's just a little announcement from the MapleStory team. So hopefully we'll get some more detailed information in the not too distant future about the Yeti and Ping Bean stuff and maybe the 64-bit client. I want to make sure that I don't put all of my hopes into that, thinking that the game is somehow going to be perfectly stable and perfectly playable when that happens, because then I'm only going to be left disappointed when it's not. So I'm just going to treat it as any other update, and then, you know, and then we'll see after that, you know, and then we can have our expectations be dependent on the real situation and not so much on what we hope, fantasize about would one day happen, that we actually have a stable game to play. But yeah, just a short update for you guys.